In this video, I am reviewing the Focal CMS 50 monitors, and this is it here that you see on the screen. And one of the main things that I really liked about these primarily is, number one, they look really cool. Number two, the construction is really nice. And number three, they're made in France rather than China. Let's talk a little bit about the construction. First of all, they are made out of aluminum, braced and dampened aluminum, with a nice powder-coated, sort of a charcoal, almost black finish. And I was really trying to avoid speakers that are made out of MDF. I don't really like MDF. MDF, medium density fiberboard, is basically like sawdust and glue. But the thing about MDF is that it can actually leach formaldehyde fumes into your environment. So that's something that I didn't really appreciate about MDF, or don't really like about MDF, so I was trying to avoid that. I much prefer just either solid wood or these, which are metal. So that's one of the things I really appreciated about them. Also, the CMS line of Focal speakers are made in France rather than the Alpha line, which is made in China. So that's another thing that I appreciated. You do pay a little bit more for these, however. Like anything made in Europe, you're kind of, as an American, I think, paying a little bit of a premium. So these speakers sell for about $595 a piece. So if you need two, you're looking at almost $1,200. A bit expensive, but I have to say that they are definitely an improvement over what I had before, which was the Audio Engine A5 Plus speakers. And the great thing about these is that they have a really good resolution, and they're great for monitoring. So they have a reference quality sound to them, but at the same time, they're still quite musical as well. So, you know, they really have a nice engaging sound, but at the same time, they're reference. So I would rate them as one of the best desktop speakers that you can get. In fact, these speakers are used by many professional studios as well in a studio environment. So they're active two-way studio monitors, and by active, that means that they're powered. And the woofer and the tweeter actually have separate amplifiers. So you have a total of 130 watt class AB amplification. And I believe there's 80 watts on the mid-range / woofer, and 30 watts, or I'm sorry, 50 watts on the tweeter, and they're separate amplifier, so they're kind of discreetly amplified. And again, the aluminum construction is really nice. The mid-range woofer driver is a 5-inch polyglass woofer. The tweeter is a magnesium aluminum inverted dome tweeter. Also, the drivers are made in-house by Focal, so it's not like they're buying off-the-shelf drivers and just installing them in a speaker cabinet. These are pretty much designed and made from the ground up and manufactured from the ground up in France by Focal. Also, the speakers have XLR and RCA inputs, so you have a lot of flexibility there. And you also have acoustic controls on the back too. So if you look at the back panel here, you have all kinds of controls that you can do, which I really appreciate. So you can really tune these for your environment. So for instance, in my environment, it's a little bit of a reflective, echoey environment. So I'm able to tune some of the so I'm able to set the switches on the speakers specifically for that to make them sound optimal and avoid those reflections and echoey sound, and really tune them to my room. You also have a crossover as well. So if you're using a subwoofer with these, which I am, I'm using the Audio Engine S8 subwoofer, you can really play with the different settings and make them sound ideal. These are also magnetically shielded as well, so if you're using them next to like a computer monitor or something, you're not going to like hurt your your computer or computer monitor. So the CMS 50s are basically a compact near-field studio monitor. They're ideal for use in the home or in professional environments like studios. They also make both a smaller and a larger speaker. The smaller one is the CMS 40, and I think that has a 4-inch mid-range bass driver. And then they have a CMS 65, I believe, which has a 6.5-inch driver. So this one is the CMS 50, which has the 5-inch driver. And it really fits my room and my space just perfectly. I didn't want to go with the smaller one because that one wouldn't be quite as smooth in terms of the mids. and I just wouldn't have as much output as these, whereas the larger one would be way too large and probably wouldn't fit on my desk. So these are really just the perfect size, and I've got them on the isoacoustic stands here, as you can see, which really does help get them higher up so that they're closer to ear level, and then also helps isolate them as well and sort of acoustically decouple the speakers from the desk. Although these speakers do come with a little rubber base plate that you can install on them, it also comes with a little spike that you can angle them up as well to sort of get them more isolated from the table or the desk or the shelf that you're putting them on. So these Focal CMS 50 speakers are really built like a tank. They're really quite heavy, and they feel very industrial quality, very professional. And they really do sound quite excellent as well. The way I listen to these is I use the RCA outs directly from my Chord Hugo TT. So I'm getting a really nice clean preamp out of that. And then I've got Blue Jeans cable RCAs going into both the left and the right monitors. And these are sold separately, so they're not sold in a pair. So if you need both the left and the right, obviously you'll have to buy two of them. They're also powered independently as well, so there's no power connection between the two. And I've sort of solved that issue by having them connected to a sort of remote power switch, so that when I want to listen to them, I just use that and it automatically powers them up, and then when I'm done, I can power them down that way as well. Now on the left there is a mute and standby button that you can press that will kind of turn them off and put them in standby mode. I believe they still do draw about 2 watts or so with that on. But that's sort of a way that you can mute them if you want without actually powering them completely off. In the back there is, however, a master power switch as well. So I have to say I'm really quite impressed with the Focal CMS 50 monitors. They have a very professional build quality, which is just excellent on them. Lots of flexibility in terms of adjustments, both in level and kind of catering the sound to your environment. And also the form factor and look and feel of them is really top notch. And I've just been really impressed with the way they sound as well. So this has been my look of the made in France Focal CMS 50 studio monitors. For pricing and availability, check the description field. And as always, for community and discussion, check the comments field. Thanks for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.